I'm so glad we're meeting again. Sometimes it feels like fatigue just settles in, doesn't it? Like a fog rolling in off the sea, making everything feel a bit heavier, a bit slower. And perhaps you've noticed, maybe when you stand up too quickly, or when you check your numbers at the doctor's office, that your blood pressure isn't quite where you'd like it to be. It's a common worry as we gather more years, a sign that our bodies are asking for a little extra care. You see, as we age, our internal clock, our metabolism, naturally begins to tick a little slower, especially in the evenings. Think of it like a dedicated shopkeeper wanting to close up for the night, dim the lights, and rest. But when we eat late, especially certain foods, it's like forcing that shopkeeper to stay open, run around restocking shelves, and handle a sudden rush of customers right at closing time. Those seemingly innocent late-night visitors, maybe a comforting bowl of buttery mashed potatoes, a few slices of cheese with crackers, or that sweet slice of leftover pie. They can act like little troublemakers inside. They flood our system with sugars and fats precisely when our body is trying to wind down, sending our blood pressure on an unpredictable, bumpy ride while we're meant to be peacefully recharging. But what if I told you that one simple, gentle shift, deciding when you have your last bite of the day, could unlock the door to waking up feeling remarkably lighter, thinking clearer, and seeing those blood pressure numbers finally settle into a calmer rhythm? It sounds almost too simple, I know. No punishing diets, no complicated routines, just one small adjustment. Stick with me through this chat because I want to share my own journey of stopping late-night eating after I turned 70, the surprising impact it had, especially on my blood pressure, and some practical steps you can try too. One of these, which I'll get to shortly, was honestly a complete game changer for me. Let's explore this together. The first foundational step is simply deciding on a kitchen closing time. What does that mean? It means choosing a specific hour in the evening after which you simply don't eat. For many, 7 p.m. works beautifully, but it could be 6:30 p.m. or 8 p.m., whatever feels realistic for your schedule initially. The key is consistency, creating a clear signal for your body. I remember my friend, Margaret, who just turned 72. Oh, she loved her evenings. Settling down with a good mystery novel or her favorite TV show was her cherished ritual. But that ritual always included a companion, a bowl of salty pretzels, sometimes a few cookies, maybe even a small sandwich if dinner felt too long ago. She'd tell me, it's just part of winding down, you know, a little treat. But she also confessed to waking up feeling groggy, not truly rested, and her doctor had mentioned her blood pressure was creeping up, advising her to watch it. Margaret felt a knot of resistance. Giving up her evening snack felt like losing a comforting friend. It's just a little something, she'd insist, almost defensively. She started small, aiming for an 8 p.m. cutoff, which felt less daunting. She made sure her dinner was satisfying. The first few nights were strange. Her hand automatically reached for the snack cupboard. She felt a pang of emptiness, boredom. But she pushed through, sipping water instead. After a week, she tentatively shifted her cutoff to 7:30 p.m., then 7 p.m. The change wasn't instantaneous like a lightning bolt, but more like the gentle clearing of morning mist. She started waking up feeling lighter. The grogginess lessened. She described it as feeling cleaner inside. Why does this simple cutoff time work so well? Think of your body like a beautifully orchestrated symphony. During the day, the digestive instruments play energetically, but as evening approaches, the conductor signals for the tempo to slow, preparing for the quiet overnight movement of rest and repair. Eating late forces the digestive section to play a loud, demanding piece when the rest of the orchestra is trying to quiet down. By setting a cutoff time, you give your digestive system the signal it needs to finish its work, pack up, and allow your body to transition smoothly into its restorative phase. This allows hormones like insulin to stabilize, prevents late-night blood sugar spikes that can stress your system, and lets your blood pressure naturally lower during sleep, as it's designed to. It's like giving your internal shopkeeper clear closing hours. They can tidy up efficiently and lock the door on time, ensuring a peaceful night. The practical benefit for you, waking up feeling more refreshed, less bogged down, and creating the right internal environment for your blood pressure to find its natural, lower nighttime rhythm. It's about giving your body the predictable, restful pause it craves. So, once you've set that gentle sundown signal for your kitchen, you might wonder, what do I do when that old familiar craving whispers in my ear, especially when I'm used to having a little something? That empty feeling Margaret described? That brings us to the next helpful step, swapping out those evening calories for calm hydration. Instead of reaching for a snack or a sugary drink, consider soothing, hydrating, non-caloric options. Think warm herbal teas, a simple glass of water, maybe with a slice of lemon or cucumber. Let me tell you about Arthur, a wonderful gentleman of 75. Arthur had a routine. After dinner, around 8:30 p.m., while watching the news, he'd have what he called his settler, usually some crackers with a bit of sharp cheddar, or perhaps a small bowl of cereal. He wasn't necessarily hungry, he explained. It just felt right, comforting. But Arthur was struggling. He frequently experienced nighttime indigestion, that uncomfortable burning feeling, and often tossed and turned. His morning blood pressure readings were consistently higher than his doctor liked, despite medication. The idea of not having his settler felt jarring. "But what will I do?" he asked me, genuinely perplexed. He associated that snack with relaxation. We talked about replacing the action and the comfort rather than just removing something. He decided to try caffeine-free herbal tea. He chose chamomile first, liking its calming reputation. He bought a special mug he enjoyed holding. The first few nights, he admitted, felt a bit naked. But gradually, the ritual of preparing the tea, sipping it slowly, the warmth in his hands, began to replace the ritual of snacking. He noticed he wasn't getting that acid reflux kickback later in the night, and within a couple of weeks, he realized he was sleeping more soundly. He wasn't waking up as often. The most encouraging part? His morning blood pressure readings started trending downwards, becoming more stable and less alarming. What's happening here physiologically when you make this swap? Firstly, you're hydrating your body, which is always beneficial, but doing so without adding a digestive burden late at night. Warm liquids, in particular, can be very soothing to the digestive tract and promote relaxation. Unlike sugary drinks or snacks containing fats and salts, these simple drinks don't spike your blood sugar or require significant digestive effort, which can indirectly affect blood pressure. Think of late-night snacks as throwing pebbles into a calm pond just as it's settling for the night. They create ripples that disturb the peace. A warm herbal tea is more like a gentle, silent mist settling over the water, promoting tranquility. Psychologically, you're replacing a potentially harmful habit with a genuinely calming one, signaling to your brain that it's time to wind down. The benefit for you? Better sleep quality, reduced indigestion or reflux, and a calmer internal state that supports healthier blood pressure levels, especially overnight and upon waking. So, tonight, perhaps swap that usual suspect for a comforting cup of calm. Quench your evening thirst with peace, not provocation. And while sipping on a warm, calming tea can be wonderfully soothing, there's another shift that had an even more profound impact for me, and for so many others I've spoken with. This one. This was truly the game changer, the piece that clicked everything into place for my blood pressure. It's about shifting when you consume the bulk of your daily fuel. Instead of making dinner the main event, consider making lunch your most substantial meal, or have your dinner earlier and make it significantly lighter than what you might be used to. I want to share Eleanor's story because it illustrates this so powerfully. Eleanor, a vibrant woman of 70, grew up in a family where dinner was the meal. A proper sit-down affair, often later in the evening, featuring meat, potatoes, vegetables, the works. It was deeply ingrained. Even living alone, she continued this pattern, often eating her main meal around 7:30 or 8 p.m. She constantly battled feeling bloated and heavy in the evenings. She described an energy crash an hour or so after eating, feeling sluggish and ready for bed, but not in a restful way. Her blood pressure was stubbornly high, and her doctor was considering adding another medication. The thought of changing her dinner routine felt almost like betraying tradition. "But dinner is supposed to be the main meal," she protested initially. It felt unnatural, almost wrong, to have a light supper. We talked about it not as deprivation, but as redistribution. She hesitantly decided to try making lunch her main meal for a week. She'd have a hearty soup, a chicken salad, or a small casserole around 1 p.m. Then, for her evening meal around 6 p.m., she'd have something much lighter, perhaps a bowl of vegetable soup, a small salad with some beans, or a piece of fruit with yogurt. The difference, she told me, was astounding. Within days, that heavy, bloated evening feeling vanished. She had more sustained energy throughout the afternoon and evening. No more post-dinner crash. And the most incredible part, when she checked her blood pressure, it had dropped significantly. We're talking a consistent 10-15 point drop in her systolic number. She felt lighter, slept better, and her doctor was thrilled at her next checkup. She called it revolutionary. Why is front-loading your fuel so incredibly effective? Our metabolism is naturally more active earlier in the day. Think of your digestive system as having peak operating hours, usually midday. Eating your largest meal then means you're providing fuel when your body is best equipped to process it efficiently, converting it into energy for the rest of your day. When you eat a large meal late at night, your metabolism is already slowing down. Your body struggles to process the load, leading to inefficient digestion, potential fat storage, and a significant burden on your cardiovascular system overnight as it works harder than it should. Making the evening meal lighter gives your body ample time, several hours, to digest before you go to sleep. This allows your system to truly rest and repair overnight, including allowing your blood pressure to dip naturally, which is crucial for heart health. It's like fueling your car properly before a long journey, your active day, versus trying to cram extra fuel into the tank right before you park it in the garage for the night, your sleep. The benefits here are massive: more sustained energy during the day, significantly improved digestion, less bloating and discomfort in the evenings, better sleep, and, crucially, a potentially dramatic improvement in blood pressure control. This shift might feel culturally odd at first, but the payoff can be transformative. Fuel your day, don't just fill your night. This one truly changed everything for me, and it might for you too. Making lunch, your main meal, like Eleanor discovered, can feel revolutionary. But what about that lingering desire for something sweet after dinner, even if it's an earlier, lighter one? The sweet tooth. It often calls loudest in the evening, doesn't it? That little craving for something sweet after dinner or while relaxing. This next step isn't about complete deprivation, but about being strategic. If you enjoy dessert, try having it earlier in the day, perhaps after your more substantial lunch. Or, if you must have something sweet in the evening, and remember, keep it before your established cutoff time, opt for smarter choices like fruit, perhaps with a little plain yogurt. Let's talk about George, 78. George had a lifelong love affair with dessert. A slice of apple pie, a dish of ice cream, a couple of chocolate biscuits. It was his nightly reward after dinner. He wasn't overweight, but he often felt strangely jittery for an hour after his treat, followed by a wave of tiredness. His blood pressure readings were also quite erratic, sometimes spiking unexpectedly. He felt like his body was on a bit of a roller coaster. Giving up his dessert entirely felt too bleak. A life without a little sweetness? He'd chuckle, but there was real reluctance there. We discussed timing and type. He experimented. Some days, he tried having his slice of pie after lunch instead. He noticed he didn't get that same jittery feeling or the subsequent slump. Other days, if the craving hit after his lighter, earlier dinner, he'd adopted Eleanor's strategy. He tried having a bowl of mixed berries with a dollop of plain Greek yogurt before his 7 p.m. cutoff. He found it surprisingly satisfying. The tartness of the berries and the creaminess of the yogurt hit the spot. Over time, he noticed his energy levels felt more even. He slept better without that sugar buzz, and his doctor commented that his blood pressure readings were becoming much more consistent and predictable. What's the science here? Sugary desserts, especially late at night, cause a rapid spike in blood sugar and insulin. This hormonal surge can disrupt sleep patterns and place stress on your cardiovascular system, potentially impacting blood pressure. Having that treat earlier gives your body more time and metabolic activity to handle the sugar load more effectively. Fruit, while containing natural sugars, also comes packaged with fiber, vitamins, and water, which slows down sugar absorption, leading to a gentler rise in blood sugar compared to refined sweets. Think of a refined sugar dessert like a short, turbulent flight, a quick high followed by a bumpy landing. Fruit is more like a pleasant, leisurely walk, enjoyable, sustainable, and much gentler on your system. The benefit? More stable blood sugar and energy levels, reduced late-night cravings over time, better quality sleep, and less stress on your system, contributing to more stable blood pressure. You can still enjoy sweetness, just be strategic about when and what you choose. Satisfy your sweet desires when your body is best prepared to handle the celebration. Being strategic about when and what sweet treats you enjoy can make a big difference. But sometimes, reaching for that snack isn't really about sweetness or even hunger, is it? Sometimes, it's simply habit, boredom, stress, or that automatic association we build between certain activities, like watching television, and food. This leads us to think about consciously cultivating different kinds of evening rituals, ones that don't involve calories, but still provide comfort and engagement. Consider Brenda, 73. Brenda lived alone and found her evenings could feel long. Watching her favorite shows was her main evening pastime, and almost unconsciously, her hand would wander to a bag of chips, a box of crackers, or a tin of nuts left on the coffee table. She admitted she often wasn't even hungry. It was just something to do. She felt stuck in the pattern, noticed she'd gained a little weight around her middle, and her blood pressure, while managed with medication, was still higher than ideal. The idea of just sitting without snacking felt uncomfortable, almost fidgety. "My hands need something to do," she explained. We brainstormed alternative rituals that could provide comfort or engagement without calories. Brenda rediscovered her love for knitting. She set up a cozy corner with good lighting, her yarn, and needles. After her light, early dinner, and before her 7 p.m. cutoff, she'd tidy the kitchen, make a cup of herbal tea, remember Arthur, and then settle into her knitting while listening to an audiobook or gentle music. She designated the living room, especially near the TV, a no-food zone after 7 p.m. It took conscious effort initially. She had to physically move the snack foods out of sight. But gradually, the new ritual took hold. The rhythmic click of the needles became soothing. She found she was sleeping more deeply, felt less bloated, and had a sense of accomplishment from her knitting projects. She also noticed a subtle but consistent improvement in her blood pressure readings. How does cultivating a new ritual help? It directly addresses the psychological triggers for habitual eating. By creating a new, positive routine, you weaken the old association between, say, television and snacking. Engaging in relaxing activities like reading, listening to music, gentle stretching, taking a warm bath, or pursuing a quiet hobby helps activate the body's relaxation response, the parasympathetic nervous system. This actively counteracts stress hormones and can naturally help lower blood pressure. It's like replacing a scratched, noisy record that plays the same old jarring tune, mindless snacking, with a beautiful, peaceful melody, a mindful evening ritual that soothes your entire being. The practical outcome for you: breaking free from unconscious eating habits, reducing stress levels, improving sleep quality, and creating an internal environment more conducive to healthy blood pressure. Nourish your mind and spirit in the evening, not just your stomach. Find rituals that bring you peace and joy. Finding new, engaging rituals like Brenda did with her knitting can be incredibly powerful for breaking old habits. But let's be practical. Making all these changes consistently, the timing, the hydration, the lighter evening meals, the new routines, day after day, requires a bit of forethought, especially when life gets busy or you're feeling tired. That's often when it's most tempting to slip back into old patterns and grab whatever is quick and easy late at night, derailing your best intentions. This brings us to the final, very practical suggestion. Embrace a little bit of planning. Meet David, 71. David was generally health conscious, but admitted his downfall was lack of planning, especially for evenings. After a busy day volunteering or running errands, he'd often feel too tired to cook a proper meal early. By 8 p.m., he'd be starving and end up ordering pizza, heating a high-sodium frozen meal, or just grazing on unhealthy snacks. He felt guilty afterwards, physically sluggish, and frustrated that his blood pressure medication didn't seem to be working as well as it could. He felt like he was sabotaging himself. "I know what I should do," he sighed, "but sometimes the effort just feels too much." The key for David was simplifying and prepping. He started planning his week's evening meals, focusing on simple, light options like hearty vegetable soups, large salads with pre-cooked chicken or beans, or small portions of fish with steamed vegetables. He took an hour on the weekend to wash and chop vegetables, cook a batch of quinoa, or portion out soup into single servings for the freezer. He made sure healthy options were easier to reach than unhealthy ones. If he knew he'd have a particularly busy day, he'd have a pre-made soup ready to just heat and eat early in the evening. This removed the decision fatigue and the temptation to grab junk food. He felt much more in control. The guilt vanished. He consistently ate healthier, lighter meals before his 7 p.m. cutoff. He felt physically better, less stressed about food, and noticed his blood pressure was responding more favorably to his medication. Why is planning so effective? It removes friction. When you're tired or stressed, willpower is often low. Having a plan and readily available healthy options makes the right choice the easy choice. It prevents impulsive decisions driven by hunger or fatigue. Physiologically, ensuring your light evening meal is nutritious, even if simple, provides your body with necessary nutrients without the heavy load of processed foods, excess salt, or unhealthy fats, often found in convenience options, all of which can negatively impact blood pressure. Think of it like packing a healthy lunch and snacks for a day trip versus relying on finding something decent at random roadside stops. Planning ensures you have the right fuel when you need it, avoiding detours into unhealthy territory. The benefit for you? Reduced stress around evening meals, consistently healthier choices, a greater sense of control over your eating habits, and better support for your overall health goals, including blood pressure management. A little planning truly goes a long way towards peaceful evenings and healthier tomorrows. You see, having a plan, like David found, removes so much friction and makes the healthy choice the easy choice. It ties everything together: the timing, the type of food, the rituals. And really, that's what this journey is all about. Being mindful of when you fuel your body, especially as evening draws in, and making gentle adjustments that work with your body's natural rhythms, not against them. You've journeyed through life, gathered so much wisdom, faced challenges, and celebrated joys. You know your body, its whispers and its shouts, better than anyone. Taking charge of your well-being now isn't about revolution. It's often about gentle evolution, small adjustments made with kindness towards yourself. Shifting your eating window, making lunch the star, choosing calming hydration, finding peaceful evening rituals. These aren't punishments, they are gifts you give yourself. Gifts that can lead to waking up feeling lighter, more energetic, seeing those blood pressure numbers calm down, and simply feeling more comfortable in your own skin. You absolutely deserve to feel vibrant, healthy, and full of life at every age. Trust in your incredible ability to adapt and make these positive shifts. You possess the strength, you hold the wisdom, and you undoubtedly have the right to a healthier, happier you. Start small, be patient with yourself, celebrate the little victories, and truly believe in the wonderful changes that are waiting for you just around the corner. You can do this.